What is up, guys? Welcome to the penultimate round, number 5 here in Snetterton on the 200 layout. 2 miles in length, 8 turns, and it's going to be a hell of a bumpy ride. Obviously got that really massive sausage curb that is still there, and that very, very fast, tight right-hander that you're going to be seeing just now. Obviously we're warming up in qualifying. I think this green silver car just caught me a bit unsighted. I clipped the inside of the curb and then just absolutely flew over the speed bump. But let's get straight into the qualification lap. And there we have it, our fastest qualification lap that we were able to get done. I know there's a lot more time that I could have found during that session, as we are going to be starting from P11. Yep, I mean, it's very, very close. I mean, I know there was like a little mistake I made on one of the corners, but we're going to go straight into the race. However, 5 red lights and it's green. Here we go at the Snetterton 200. So what can we do? Getting off the start line, gaining 1 position already. Can we gain another? Going down the inside of the green and silver Janetta Jr. I'm going to look to go around the outside of the yellow and black car number 57, but the green and silver car comes straight back round our outside, overtaking us, getting 2 positions in that one corner. Very nicely done for him. We're going to look to go around the outside of both yellow and green and silver, and now we're just going to try and do a quick cut back, but there's another car on our outside, so it's kind of 3 wide going through that moment, and that is very tight. I know it's very, very slow, but you can probably end up doing it just because you're going 30 miles an hour each. But yeah, we managed to get up into 9th place, 2 positions gained. I mean, we've had better getaways, but going into those sort of corners, it's very tight, very slow, and yeah, you know, there's a lot of drivers bunched up together. If we go a little bit too deep, and the green and silver car is going to look to come around the outside of us, but he's actually just going to turn into us. I mean, all those drivers, they keep turning into us and then they keep losing out in their position because they just pull back as we look to go down the inside, but nothing really comes of that at all because car number 22 just positions his car that little bit closer to the curb, so we can't get down the inside. And then nice early braking as we look to go down the inside of not 1 but 2. I think that second car was a bit of a cheeky move, but you know, we'll take it. It's there's no penalties, so you know, we have put the penalties on strict, so you know, if there was a penalty there, then we would have got one, but the stewards see that as just a racing incident, so it's all good. So we're up into P7 now after 1 lap gone by, so all nice and very good there. And what can we do? Obviously we've just got the massive overspeed and underneath car number 21 going to out braking, but I think he's still there. And yeah, black and yellow, not black and red Janetta Jr. just brakes a little bit too much for my liking. And yeah, we didn't really get the overspeed, but getting in the slips, well, the slight slipstream that we're going to get now, as this is a very, very long back straight, so I think we should be able to get the move done. We're going to go down the inside, we're looking at it, we're going to put our nose where, you know, really don't want it to be going into this corner. This one is definitely not too wide, as yeah, he's gonna take, look at that, he just takes the curve a bit too much, and the car behind punts us a little bit and we get shoved straight into the back of the black and red car, and yeah, we're still gonna sit behind them after that overtake fail, and yeah, no damage, which is very surprising after we had that shunt from the car behind. We're just going to advance a little bit further ahead, just so we're right up the rear end of the car number 37, as we're going to look to send it down the inside a little bit farther back. Brakes a little bit late, we're just going to go that little bit deep into the corner, but we are going to get the position, and now we are up into P5 as we look to progress further up the grid and eventually into the podium places, as there's 10 minutes left to go in the race. So it was a little bit of a trying to catch up to the 4th and 3rd and 2nd and 1st places. Obviously we are going to end up doing it, as I'm not sure why car number 58 had such a slow get away from that straight line around that corner. Not entirely sure what happened, may have got caught up in a slight incident with the cars ahead, but hey, we'll take that position. We're up into 4th, 9.5 minutes left to go, not too long left of the race, as now we look to catch the cars ahead, and yeah, podium places are definitely in sight for us here, as yeah, going into this corner once again. I think once you get the hang of it, then you're really nicely done, but if you go out onto that curb and just touch the grass, I've done it a few times in qualifying and practice as well, the car will just get very unstable and it will kick you back into the middle of the, well, in the middle of the road really, and just if a car's right behind you, you'll get hit and you'll just get that bit of terminal damage, which, you know, we definitely don't want. As we see that, you know, the red and white Ginetta Jr. takes a little bit too much curb. Not exactly sure what kind of line they were going for there, as we're going to get the run on him, just because that momentum killer going over the curb will definitely kill your momentum, and the line we took will definitely improve it, as we're catching them and catching them and catching them. Can we get them into this corner? I think we're going to have to leave it until the hairpin, because they go a little bit too deep and they brake check us. We look to cut back onto the left hand side of the track, but we just got that little bit too close to their rear end and really couldn't think of a way around, so we're just going to brake nice and early, try to get a switch back on them, but that move absolutely failed, and I don't know exactly why we looked to pull that off, but yeah, I think we're going to get this, we should get the slipstream down this back straight, just because it's so long, and you know, look at that. Look, pulling out, we're gaining. Where that bridge is, you're going to want to start thinking about braking, or around that sort of mark just beforehand, but you know, they brake on that point. We brake a little bit just before, so it's just going to be a formality going into this, and we get that overspeed that we always talk about, but we're just going to sit behind, because going into this corner the camber just takes you in, and the bumpiness of the road is just so bumpy down there. I would love this track to be nice and smooth, but it's not. But this corner, this really wide swooping right-hander, I'm not that great around. I think the AI is much better than I am. Hopefully the next time we visit here will be much better around that line, and we can look to improve. I mean, we've had like 30 minutes, 45 minutes worth of practice going around that corner, but we've still not improved upon it. But hopefully during this race trim we should be much more improved. I think we might just decrease the fuel as well, because we've got 8 litres or quite a lot of fuel left, as we usually think. You know, we finish off with quite a lot of fuel left in our tanks. I'm pretty sure that one won't drop off any more than half at least, but we look down and try and get closer to the blue Ginetta Juniors. Our teammate is out in front doing bits for the Drivers' Championship, which, you know, if he stays up there, then, you know, the Drivers' Championship will be ours. I think if it finishes as it is, the Drivers' Championship will be ours. The Championship will be mine, and, you know, we go into the next season as Championship winners, so hopefully we can push on. I mean, I would like another race win on our belts as we look to go down the inside of the start straight on the blue Ginetta Junior. We're going to go down the inside of this corner. He's still alongside us, still there. We can't go back to our race lines. We have to take the corner a little bit slower than we usually do, but he's going to cut off and he's going to let us have that position as we look to go to our teammate and catch up to him and then gain first place from him, as you know, he really should give it to us as we are the championship and we are the first. Well, you know, we're both equal drivers, so I can understand the team wanting to not give any team orders, so we are just going to race for it, and you know, I think we should get there. You know, we are the better driver and you know, we are the better car. We have probably set it up that little bit better as we try and get him down these starts or the back straight. Look to go in this corner. He does brake a little bit early, so we just nowhere really to go on that corner at all. So we're just going to stick behind him and we're going to get the momentum out of this corner. Going to look to overtake into this one. Oof. I mean, the space was there. We could have gone for it, but we decided to not go for it in the end. And oh, look at that in the rearview mirror. The rearview mirror is there. The white. See, this is what I'm talking about. The AI are much better through this corner than I am. So that they get an overtake on us, but we're just going to go so deep and they're going to turn into us yet again, and I think that'll be second place all achieved as we cut on to later on into the race. 3 minutes left to go, so I think about 3 laps as well to go, or it might be 2 laps, I'm not too sure. I think it's this one and then 2 more laps, so it might be 2.5 as we gain first place from our teammate, because we've purely got the overspeed from that corner, better traction out of it, and we push on, and it's pretty much going to be a formality from here onwards if we don't mess up, which we shouldn't mess up. I mean, I can only see us, you know, somehow clipping that curb and just going off into the wall, and then our race will be over. But hopefully from then we'll have pushed on, as we have pushed on, and we're near enough, about 2 seconds ahead of P2. So just a few corners left to go on this track, and so I mean, just went a little bit wide, and then the car just decided to, you know, drag us back into the track, and yeah, just unsettled us completely. And here we go, you know, it's going to finish like 2 seconds ahead, and it's going to be a championship winning drive for sure. I think it's been a much better end of the season for a much better overtakes, and just a viewing pleasure for you all as we look to go on the back of the finish straight, and it's going to be a nice and easy one. Just going to drive alongside the pit lane as normal with the team. Can just imagine them on the side and them shouting, "Woo, come on, you've done it." There we go. And that is the championship with us. 4 podiums, 4 wins, total points 166. The Ginetta Juniors UK Championship is in the bag. And for next season we've got Knockhill National, Snetterton 200 again, Donington Park National, Silverstone International, and the Brands Hatch GP. So hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.